Moving on with Midday, you know, every home like yours has its artistic treasures, and if it's not a careless child or maid or pet or even you that breaks something precious accidentally, it is an unexpected and uncontrollable earthquake like last Sunday's here in the desert. So let's face it, chances are very soon you will need someone to fix or restore your treasures. So check out this company that I found for you. Step into this intriguing store and you'll discover a house of miracles for broken hearts. Walk through the door with whatever ornament imaginable you hold dear, and you can count on walking out a few weeks later with your treasure restored. Take it from Cy Sussman, earthquake victim.
The doors popped open and this plate, which is about 110, 120 years old, which is Queen Louise, cracked in half. And I was just terrible. My mother had given it to me. And P.S., I went back to them and they put the plate together and I can't even find the crack in it any longer.
Such magic is a combination of art appreciation, trained technique, and knowledge of chemistry. And the head miracle worker here, who spent decades refining that combination in everything he and his team touch, is John D. Foster.
As an artist, I enjoy art so much that it's always a pleasure to me to work on any piece of art, because all art that is truly art needs to be restored. We feel like, at times, like we're almost that artist in trying to think how he thought about what he was doing and to recreate what isn't there.
Minimum charge is $65 and ranges into the thousands, but talk to anybody here and you're quickly convinced money is not the motivating force.
Well, it's so fulfilling to see the gratitude and appreciation that our customers have. And that always makes us feel not only proud of our work, but that we have given them something that's very important and dear to their hearts.
That kind of quality and attitude, coupled with natural disasters, not to mention the accidents of kids and pets and maids, has generated a staggering stockpile of work. To try to deal with that need, this family operation has begun a training school to launch new stores like this one in every community across the land.
The training school basically teaches them all about porcelain. We start with porcelain, we move to oil paintings and crystal, and we train them to restore all of them, one at a time. It's actually quite simple. A person with just basic skills can learn to do this.
It's a high-class business. We're working with magnificent art day in and day out. And you wake up in the morning and you're ready to come down and start a new challenge.
Bottom line, this unique restorative enterprise has carved out a niche with a win-win-win for all concerned. In Newport Beach, California, Bruce Page. And isn't that something, that kind of a store? Wouldn't you like to get some heirloom or treasure fixed? Anyway, John, we wanted to check with you because, you know, there are people out here in the desert with, I would guess, every conceivable kind of treasure. There are a lot of wealthy people, a lot of less wealthy people, but they have such a variety. Is there anything that you folks cannot fix or restore?
Not really, Bruce. We can fix, as you know, all porcelains, any kind of crystal. Even if they have damaged crystal glasses with little chips, we can grind them and polish them. You'd never even know they were damaged.
Yeah.
We fix wood and marble, porcelain, you name it. We can restore anything.
What about paintings, John?
Oil paintings is one of our specialties. As you know, an oil painting in someone's home that has smoke damage from tobacco or it's over a fireplace, over years it will discolor, become dark. We can take those oil paintings and without affecting them or affecting its value, we can completely clean them, make them look completely restored.
And in the desert here, I guess there are a lot of art. There is a lot of art that actually gets weathered over time, right?
Absolutely. The dry climate causes a lot of the paintings to become over-dried, and they peel up and they flake off. And we can touch those back up, and we can even put those little chips that fall out back in.
Does that ruin the value in any way?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As you know, oil paintings are a one-of-a-kind, so they're not replaceable. It's just like the Mona Lisa, as you know. It's been restored 60 times and is no less valuable.
Yeah. You know, Larry, I guess there are a lot of people out here who would be a little bit concerned about price because they say, well, that's very nice, but I don't know whether we can really afford it. But actually, you're very reasonable, aren't you?
Yeah, that's true. One of the objectives that we had was taking a service that traditionally was really reserved for the very wealthy and bringing it to the vast majority of people. Actually, in the piece it said our prices start at $65. That's for the repair of a piece of porcelain. Our prices really start at $15. That's for little inexpensive things like chips and breaks and crystal. And our average repair is actually only about $40.
Yeah, and you're actually based at the moment, this Pick Up the Pieces store is in Fashion Island in Newport Beach, but you're trying to get something going out here. Tell us a little bit about what you're trying to do, expand your operation.
Well, we currently have 2 stores. We have one in Costa Mesa and one in Newport Beach, and the one in the piece was in Newport Beach. That's our main store. However, we're looking for other stores in local areas to work with to set up local outlets for people. Like out here in the valley, we currently have a lot of customers that come into Orange County. And it's a long trip to transport your broken collectibles and art treasures to Orange County, so we're looking for a local store here to work with us to help bring the service to this area.
Yeah, and what other artwork can you actually work with?
Well, you name it, we can work with it. Just to let you know, we just had a beautiful terracotta sculpture valued at $70,000 that had tipped over on the carpet, and the customer brought it in. It was in 4 boxes. We completely restored it. You can't even tell it was ever damaged.
How do you train somebody there?
It takes a long time to really learn these techniques, and as a rule, you're an apprentice for possibly as long as 3 years, and at that time you begin in, restoring just simple pieces, and eventually you work yourself up to being a senior artist.
How long does it take, and what do you look for in a candidate?
In a candidate for art restoration, we're looking for someone who has a background in art and has a real love for art and art restoration, and appreciation for art, so that they're working around things that they would enjoy.
How many employees do you have, Larry?
Right now, we have a staff of about 20.
Yeah, yeah. And how is your mother involved in the operation, by the way?
Well, as you know, my mom is the controller,
Yeah.
and she is involved in every aspect of the company, from marketing to seeing to it that, that our customers are receiving good service, and she gets a lot of feedback from our customers.
And now, your dad founded it many years ago. How did you actually take up an interest in this? Was this something that came as naturally to you as it did to him?
I would imagine so. Ever since I was young, he would always teach me how to draw and to paint, and I always watched my father work. And when I became about 15, 16 years old, I took an interest in it, and over the years, my skill evolved, and finally I became a skilled art restorer, and I'm very proud of that.
Well, thank you very much, folks, for coming on the show and telling us all about that, because we have a lot of people in our audience, I think, who may be a little bit concerned about earthquakes and also need some restoration done anyway. We'll be back with more of Midday in just a minute, so stay tuned, won't you?